Get this show on the road, shall we? Cat gonna cat. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, I said let's get this show on the road, but I want one more chicken bite before I do. Goodbye. Do people really think the whole, like, add me on Discord? No. I will add people that I. Yeah, here's the funny thing. I actually talk to a lot of people I do not know at all on Discord, right? Like, I have people that message me on Discord all the time that I do not know those people at all. But they're people from servers that I am already a part of, and it's extremely easy to see because like a lot of people join servers and then just spam everyone in that server. It's extremely easy to tell who is one of those people and who is not, and it's just like, what? What are you doing? The whole me and my crew bit. Like, I've really, I don't want to say I've changed over the last 5 years of streaming, but starting off 5 years ago, or 6 or 7, I don't, however fucking long I've been doing this shit. Starting off a while ago, I would just be like, oh no, I mean, obviously that's probably a bot, but I don't want to just ban them because But now I'm just like, be gone. 5 and 1/3, 5 and 1/3. That's fair. Fair, and that's definitely fair. If you fall for step one, you're more likely. Yes. Yeah, that's true. Right, it's kind of like the taking advantage of the elderly thing. It's like a person who calls for a scheme designed for the elderly. If they call me, I'm like, bruh, what are you doing? But you're right, it's designed to weed things out, right? Like, because if they call you and you're not gonna fall for it, period, then having a better approach isn't going to suddenly make you fall for it, right? So just by making that approach designed a specific way, they weed their own selves out, right? Like they're like, oh, this person is never gonna fall for a thing, so I can just skip, I can just move on, right? Good thing most of your grandparents are dead and the remainder have relatives set up for financial. Yes. Both grandparents are one side are dead, one grandparent on the other side is dead, and the remaining grandparent, I think, is very looked after financially by my aunt and uncle. So, you know, I think they're pretty good to go. Yeah. You have but one. I have but one grandparent left. Ah. All of my great grandparents were gone well before my memory. Um, they might have all been gone before I was even born, but if any of them were around afterwards, I definitely do not remember them. I do remember one, like, great uncle or something like that that passed when I was extremely young. It was like my first example of death. Oh, I'm sorry. I'm a dummy. I have more grandparents than that. I forgot a different side of grandparents. Oh shit. Cuz I have four grandparents on just my mother's side, and three out of those four are dead. And then on my dad's side, I think I think both on my dad's side are also dead. I'm not 100% sure. There might be an extra grandparent there too. I've got like I've got either 7 or 8 grandparents, and there is at least one remaining. There might be up to 3 remaining, but I don't think so. We kind of lost contact with my dad's side of the family. It was like, I don't know that, like, I wouldn't classify them as, like, I never knew them as bad people, but there was obviously, even when my father was alive, there was obviously, like, low relations. We would go, when I was growing up, we would go every Christmas to Dallas for his side of the family's like gathering. I don't think there was any, I don't know if there was like really bad blood, but there was obviously like estranged blood, right? And once me and my sister got of a certain age, the family just kind of stopped going to Christmas, and we never really talked to them outside of Christmas. And so it was just, okay, well, oh, Grandpa Bill died when I was like mid 20s or something like that, and then it was like, okay, well, I guess we're going to his funeral, and so that happened, and then after that, it was just like, okay, well, no more communication. So it's kind of whatever. When your grandmother passed, we pretty much cut ties with the other side of that family. Yeah, it's just kind of it's for one thing, right? Like, I don't know that I personally have any bad blood with any actual relatives. It's just I am already I feel like I'm very much a child of the modern era, where I there's only so much time in the day, and there's only so much like room for a certain amount of people in your life. And this is going to sound weird, but I have more emotional investment and connection in someone like Galactic Baron, right? Who I pop in occasionally and see a little bit of, and he pops in occasionally and sees a little bit of me, right? But I have more camaraderie there than a person I have met 3 times for less than like 10 hours total of my life on the other side of the world, right? Like, it's just, blood doesn't mean anything to me. And it's not a scenario where I'm like, oh, well, I don't give a fuck about them in that case. It's just like, they're non-existent in my mind. If they showed up in my life, I'd be like, cool, great, let's, hang out and be involved and shit like that. But they're not, and I'm not, so, it's just whatever. It just is what it is. Oh, that side casually used the N word. Yeah, that makes sense. Absolutely. As to why we don't see them anymore. Sorry, who dat dude? I got these little chickens. They're just the right amount of like, they're processed as fuck, right? But they're processed with just the right amount of like MSG flavor that you're like, I don't really care. I don't think this is supposed to have this texture, but you got that meaty umami flavor that I desire. So, anyways, not really much playing in this first like 10 minutes of the game, but so I have some plans tonight. You ate a whole frozen pizza for dinner today, so, well, like, I am not obviously, right, like, especially as I get older, I'm trying to be more health conscious of the foods that I eat, things that I put in my body. But I'm not one of those people that's like, oh, chemicals, right? There are plenty of chemicals that are very, very good for you. Everything's a chemical, right? You need many chemicals. And people freak out over like some of the processed nature of foods, and it's like, yes, there are certain things that you should question, but while it might not be as good for you, a lot of processed foods aren't necessarily bad for you. They just need to be supplemented for with good food, right? Talking like a Totino's or like my mind went to like a whole ass Red Baron, you know? Okay, so I have thoughts. I want to start off. Did I click off? I might have clicked off. I want to start off by I think respecking Lune. Red Baron is based, and I will hear no counter arguments. There are no counter arguments. Red Baron is based. Done. Nothing to do with your name, just coincidence. Hey, can't knock it. So, what I'm thinking is I want to bring Lune in, and I want to bring Lune in with Angerin. That's what I want to try. I want to try bringing Lune in with Angerim, specifically with the concept of her supporting Mael and basically achieving stupendously high burns, and thus stupendously high damage from Mael's attack, right? And I'm hopeful that we can do that with Angerim because I believe that the way this will work, right? I believe that the way this will work is I think we have bonus attack and then an additional bonus attack, right? So that will be each turn Lune has, she is able to hit 3 times with a base attack, theoretically applying 2 burns per fire stain. I assume it might not be the case because it might not count each of the attacks, but I think it will. So that's the theory, right? So her fire stain, meaning the first turn she does it, right? It's gonna be 2, 4, 6. Second turn she does it, right? It's gonna be 4. Jesus, 4, 8, 12, right? But of course, we're going to put the double burns on, right? So my hope is that once she stacks up to that, it's only going to take her. It's technically 4 turns, but it's only going to take her 2 turns, right? Because we double turn. In theory, she's going to be hitting 4, 8 doubled to 16, right? So then 16 tripled to 48 stacks of burn per turn is the concept. So that's the overall goal. So first and foremost, we need to prep that. So we're going to put on Angerim, and then we are going to come over here and we are going to upgrade a weapon. Boom. Hello. Okay. Mission accomplished. Angerim. Now, before we do anything else, I'm trying to look around the screen here. Is it? Where is it? There is a brain. Brain. Isn't there a loadout option now. We also need to upgrade a bunch of Lumina, but I want to get a party together first. I thought there was. Did I go? Have I gone crazy? You think if there is, you didn't use it at any point when I did the DLC. See, that's what I thought I remembered reading that there was a. Maybe it's in the Luminous setting? Ah, Lumina sets. Here we go. Okay, so in the actual Luminous setting, you can hit start and you can create up to 50 sets. So we're going to create a set. So, all right. That is a I wish can I rename them? I can rename them. Okay. So we're going to name this Lune Base. So you can rename them. Hell yes. So that is what we currently have for Lune, which is good to know. Sure, now we can come back in, and we can't. Is there a way to like? Is there a way to just turn off all of them? I guess I have to deactivate them manually. There's no, like... Ah, okay. No. Hold Y. Okay. Gotcha. You wish this was in the base game? It was your biggest complaint, right? It hurts, but... It's really good quality of life. It is really... That is one of the things that prevented me from experimenting as much as I wanted to experiment, because it just felt painful having to deal with reassigning all of the Luminous, right? But this is really cool. So and we can just come in here and we can just filter and be like, burn. Okay, so we're gonna filter for base attack first and foremost. Okay, so we have combo attack and combo attack 3. We're missing combo attack 2 somewhere. Damn it. That just makes me want this even more now. I mean, just look it up. You know what? Who will? What are we looking for? This is... Where we be? Oh. Okay. Yeah, we never did that. You have to go back to where you beat the paintress at the top of the monolith the first time. Okay. Well, shit. Okay, that's really interesting. So, Um, other things to consider. Obviously, what we want is the extra attacks because each extra attack is going to apply more burn, right? But sneaking in extra things here, applying debuffs, right? Applying defenseless, getting additional. I don't really care about getting additional attack power, but getting buffs yourself, right? Doing something like popping off a shot just to get a 50% boost in damage, having your base attack be able to break, base attack just doing 50% more damage, period, a little bit of lifesteal. These are all really kind of like interesting stuff. Yeah, like, yeah, that definitely fair. Um, so, we have some ideas there. But let's check all our burning options first to ensure we have enough points for the things that we really want, right? So double burn, absolutely. That's a huge thing. Longer burn, also probably a thing that we pretty much want, right? Um, breaking a target doubles its burn amount would be pretty cool. But might not be as easy to accomplish. Increased break damage on burning enemies, pretty good probably. Increased damage on burning targets, probably pretty good. And in theory, another thing to consider with this build is that we probably will not be using AP. We might. We might still be using AP. But we might not be using AP at all. Because we kind of just want to keep stacking more burns, right? And we want our fire stains to remain as fire stains so that our burn damage does even more. Which means we could add in some free shot stuff like burning shots and things like that in order to maximally use the AP that we have. And that would potentially be pretty cool as well. So before we continue further there, we need to take off this, and we need to adjust based on favorites, and we need to go check and make sure we have the things that we have to have, right? We want cheater. We will want I assume we will want Paintress or the painted power, but I'm honestly not sure. I guess we're kind of gonna just need to go through these, huh? Clair Hill is probably a very useful one as well. Do you remember what the name of the Clair Hill is? I don't think I've favorited it yet. Fucking, what's his face has it on, right? Clair's Life, that's what it's called. Okay, so we can just go find it real quick and add to favorites. So, Clair's Life, probably something that we're going to want there. A lot of these are just situational favorites that I've put on there. I do like the augmentations for like counterattack damage, but that doesn't necessarily matter for what we're doing. Auto-generating AP also, again, doesn't really matter for what we're doing. Probably Claire's life. We can absolutely afford draining cleanse on her. This is so interesting because so many of these, like I value the generation of AP so highly, but on an auto attack build, you just don't give a shit. like, um, it just doesn't matter. Okay. With the whole Clea's life thing, I care less about healing parry and stuff like that than I used to. Oh, second chance. Some of these are so expensive. Yeah, second chance is a pretty big thing, but we're not dying. Do we actually need second chance? Probably. We will. We will be dying. We will definitely be dying. Um. Okay. Some. What's the? Uh, Mass effect? No. So I am interested in the concept of greater rush comboed with um oh, it wasn't. It's slow. Never mind. I'm kind of interested in just these like slowing attack, exposing attack, and then empowering attack and protecting attack. Like those four actually like seem solid to me. Plus with augmented attack on there. This does mean we're missing things like burn affinity. Um, Fueling break could be interesting. Critical burn in the situation. So I think one of the things we're gonna do, I think we're gonna dip. Uh, we don't need to have the amount of. So we have these Pictos right now. Two of them are specifically designed to generate a massive amount of crit. But with the new weapon, right, we were spec'd for vitality, um, because I believe the old Brazilim, yeah, Brazilim is luck and vitality. We can instead take a lot of this out of vitality potentially and put it into maybe luck defense. And instead of needing, because we don't have to crit anymore, right? Critting, it doesn't matter to us necessarily in this situation. So I think I'm interested in these attack buffs and debuffs. Um, I'm especially interested in the ability to slow the enemy, with the concept that if we are slowing every time she auto attacks, and I keep backing out accident. What am I looking for? Status effects, I guess, in this situation. Huh. Speed is crazy powerful in this game. Yes, absolutely. So maybe not status effect, maybe just speed. Rush, greater rush. So 15% to slow speed reduction. So this would enhance our ability to slow by an additional 15%, which could be pretty cool. I feel like if we had something that made your slow, I wonder. I wonder. I kind of wish these filters, right? Because there's burn, right? I kind of wish there was a filter that was just like. Maybe it's the debuff filter. That's not quite what I'm looking for. I wish there was a debuff marked, cause slow is a debuff in the game, right? Defenseless is a debuff in the game. Powerful is a buff in the game. Rush is a buff in the game. Shell is a buff in the game. I kind of wish there was just in the filters section there was a shell, and then anything that had anything to do with shell, boom, was under there. But like they're segmented into these different situations. So. Okay. Filter, base attack. I do think we are going to go for the slow. I don't know if it's worth it to go for the boost. And I don't know that we care about her base damage per se. Actually, now that I'm thinking about it, her damage doesn't really matter as much as just applying more burns and applying them faster. So I'm kind of curious as to whether or not we don't give a shit at all about her actual damage stat to the point to where we don't even stat her for her weapons stuff, and we just put as much speed and survivability on her as we can. That's kind of what I'm thinking here. Adding in defenseless would be pretty, and then maybe like a defensive buff with shell. Right, like thought process seems realistic. Like we don't really care about those things, so what does it matter? Is there anything in the burn that we would give a shit about in that situation? We want the burn to last as long as possible. Fueling break sounds amazing. Isn't there a, yeah, breaking attack? So if we made it to where our attacks can break, and then we actually break with Lune, and she doubles the amount of burns on an enemy that already has a shit ton of burns on them, that would be pretty insane. So, if we come in here, are there any of these that we actually care about? No. We don't actually specifically care about any of these. So, if we just go to speed, what is the best speed thing we got? Play again on breaking a target? Okay. 627 speed. Rush on applying powerful. Okay. Hold the phone. Because if we apply powerful every time we basic attack, we refresh our rush every single time. And that's gotta be worth a fair amount, right? That's gotta be okay. Because with a empowering attack, we gain powerful for a turn whenever we base attack. So if we also okay, hold this thought. Because we gotta use these anyway. So we have 161. Let's dick around with this thought process. 61. That's 32. Oh. What? Why do you do this to me, game? It really doesn't like it when I alt-tab, and that's the problem. So. Alright, let's see if I can disconnect and reconnect the controller. See if that does it for me. Okay, that did it for me. Okay. So, in theory, we can do 32. It's gonna be 41. Now we got a little bit more wiggle room on what we're doing. So, we apply powerful every time we attack. With rush on powerful, we apply rush every time we apply powerful. Since we're applying rush every time, we move over to speed and we put greater rush on ourselves. So it's a 25% increase enhancement to rush. And we have enough points to put on greater slow as well. More speed means more burn stacks. More slow means more burn stacks, right? Because burn stacks last through the enemy's turn. So every time the enemy gets a turn, they get a tick of the burn and, checks to see if stacks need to fall off. But if you are faster and getting more turns, and they are slower and getting less turns, it's just more and more burn applied. I really like the concept that we have going here. Okay, back to this. Let's actually hold that thought before we go too deep on applying the Pictos. Let's actually respec her. So we're going to do a reset, and we're gonna throw in 99 agility. So that in and of itself is 1706 on agility. Is there anything that also... Okay, so luck also increases speed, but only to a certain point. It's so hard not to just sit here and glaze the game more than you already have. It's such a good game. It's such a fun game. It's got so many interesting things going on with it. So we could try, like, a shit ton of luck. I think we do, right? I think we just go for as much luck as we can get. Because that also gives us as much speed as we can get. And then we just dump the remainder into vitality for as big a health pool as we can get, right? And now our goal is to buff up our defensive statistics as best we can. So for instance, like greater powerlessness might be okay there. We don't care about the Pictos or the Luminous ability, right? We care about the stats. So that's even more speed plus some defense. We need like a really good HP thing though. We have so many of these that we need to, like, learn, too. Oh, I remember consuming attack. Base attack consumes up to 100 burns to deal 10% more damage per burn consumed. This honestly seems kind of wild. I do want to try... I want to get Lune up and going with this, and then I want to throw this into Lune's build just to kind of like see how it goes. Radiant Breaker, Pulling Break, critical chance on weakness. So many. Okay. We might still double third from CL. Longer break. But the target can't be broken twice. We don't really want that. Okay, pro retreat. Decent chunk of health, some speed. And this is... Oh, we can just save ourselves some points with slowing attack. Well, we'll probably use that. Okay. Ooh. Yeah, we're replacing Burning Break with slowing attack. Okay. We don't care about charging critical. Is there... Okay, so I don't think... I think we need an HP one here. Because we don't have a lot of defense. I think we have to realistically swap over to an HP one. Oh, right, you can doubles. Hey. Is there magically a huge HP and speed one? Not really. Not really. We need a big HP one. Okay, the biggest HP one is energizing parry. Holy shit. Something like Solo Fighter could work. Or something like Claire's Life. So this is another thing that I have to kind of like balance in my head, is this concept that, so I want Lune and Mael. I might want to throw in a different third character to noodle around with the concept of additional burns, right? So what I was thinking is additional burns slash buffs for the party. Especially if Lune is applying debuffs like slow and defenseless, right? That's great. If we can then have a person who is consistently applying buffs to everyone else, that would also be pretty. But we had a burn build with Verso and was able to have 430 plus fire stacks by the end. That sounds fucking fun. Maybe we throw in Verso. Maybe Verso's the direction we want to go here. Were you also using Mael's scenario where she gets more damage the more burns are on a person? Or were you just burning people? That fight was 1v1. Okay. Gotcha. Okay, so I think what I might do, we're gonna lose. This is something I have to be extremely conscious of. We're going to lose almost all of Lune's defense as soon as we get rid of charging critical, because we have no points in defense. So maybe something like Solo Fighter is actually the direction that we want to go, because that will replace the defense that we're losing, as well as get us some. So maybe we want to go something like that, because just over 9,000 HP is not great, but it's also not shit. The solo shit are great stat sticks, yeah. Yeah, seems like it. Another thing to keep in mind is, are there skills that we want to carry around on Lune, like, just for shits and giggles, right? Revitalization, no? That does consume fire stains, right? Like, it wouldn't be a thing that we wanted to do, but if need be, we could do it. I definitely think we probably want Rebirth, Healing Light, and Revitalize there. Okay. I think that is the basics of what we're looking at with Lune. We're still missing 10 points. So we're gonna rest real quick. Who is on the team right now? CL. Take CL off. We're gonna put Lune in. Dude, Lune's HP is low. One character down, 4 more to go. No. I'm not planning. I'm not planning to completely redo everyone here. There are things that I know I want to adjust, but I mostly just wanted to do that. There. Okay, we're gonna run our bad self up. Lune, why are you running? Are you running? I don't like that Lune's actually touching the ground right now. Okay, we're gonna throw ourselves at this boss. We're gonna die, because we are not. It's been a while since I have played. So, we're gonna die, period. She loses her flight in that outfit, I guess. Alright, I just want to see kind of like the theory that we're working with here.
That's more like it.
Okay, well,
The storm is coming.
we almost died. We didn't die, but we almost died. Okay, so just attack. Alright.
Let's push forward.
4, 8, 12. Full heal. Okay.
Pinocchio, parry!
It's about what I expected.
Can't leave us yet.
Oh. Okay, let's do that. Oh. Okay. What the fuck else am I doing with this game?
Finesse and grace.
Alright. So, burning canvas is the whole point here.
Let's spill some ink.
Ready to evade.
Man. Number go up.
Why, yes, I love the dance.
Oh no, not these guys.
You're
Ready to parry.
it likes you. Invigorated.
Jeez.
Time for mayhem.
They're a lot.
Void, take everything.
Oh, shit.
Brace yourselves.
Hey, we survived! Yeah, boy! Okay.
Let's push forward.
Okay.
Bitter drinks. Wow, wow.
so much potential.
Blades sharpen.
Well, this is already the highest amount of burns that I've ever had.
Void, take everything. Void, take everything.
I'll do it.
Damn. I don't know. That's a pretty good question, actually.
Commit.
Your sunshine. Why, yes, I love a dance.
Alright, well, we die. Okay, so, that was about what I expected to happen. Do not retry the battle. The theory I think is sound. I do think there are ways for us to maximize this. And one of the things we already looked up. So we're gonna go back to the continent real quick. I say real quick. We're gonna mount the fuck up. And we got a long flight. We gotta go all the way over to the monolith, because that's apparently where combo attack 2 is, because if we get another attack in that daisy chain of attacks, that's a real big thing. And then I think we have to actually start thinking about who our third is, because if we can get someone else, like Verso or someone who is more adept at adding in additional burns, one, that's going to get our burns higher. Two, we have some stuff on Monoko that is very expensive, like Claia's Life and Second Chance are on Monoko. So if we take those off, we could potentially free up, like, 30, 40 points on someone like Lune in order to gain a little bit more optimization on exactly what we are trying to do. I'm also really interested in the concept of, is there a way that... So the slow, I think one of the keys for making this really strong would be, is there a way for us to... Oh, can we not teleport? I think would be to make it to where, is there a way for us to extend that slow? I.e., is there a Pictos where if you apply slow, the slow lasts longer, Decided to wait till next week to pick up book 2 of Carl, and you're getting antsy. Oh no, I'm getting antsy for you. Okay, well, looks like there is no... quick travel here. A little Sattery Sue. Oh no, not this. Lune's run kills you? This kills me. This is what kills me. What are you doing, Verso? Oh, hey, she's floating again. Wait, was that... That wasn't Lune the whole time. It was CL. That was it. That was the issue. It wasn't Lune's run the whole time. It was CL. Lune still floats. Oh fuck. I'm dumb. I'm dumb. I'm just dumb. I thought, hair-wise, I thought it was Lune, right? Well, shit. This is why I shouldn't change the hairs on people. Maybe we can teleport now that we're inside. Fast travel. Power peak. Oh.
We're outside.
She's there. I can feel her.
We need to be as prepared as possible. Once we go up, there's no turning back.
Hey, Pam. I hear I'm after you.
Watch out, Minoko.
Energized. Energized.
Let us stain them. Okay.
Things are getting spicy.
I fucked that up.
A bit of violence, yes.
Finesse and grace. Finesse and grace. Void, take everything.
Good. Now is our chance.
Energized. Invigorating.
Elements dance. Feeling better.
Yeah, honestly, I should have done that. Combo attack 2! Alright. Oh. Okay, cost 20 points, so that is a concern. But... yeah. Oh, did I actually take... So what I could do is slowing attack. So combo attack 2, right, costs 20 points. If we replace rush on powerful with combo attack 2, we can go back in here and we can put on rush on powerful. So we keep the 10-point slowing attack, we keep or we gain our 4th attack. Holy shit, she's gonna apply so much fucking burn. Is that gonna be 16 times 4? 64 burn when she's maxed out on Fire Saints? That seems like a lot of burn. That seems like a lot of burn. I don't know, but that seems like a lot of burn. I'm gonna guess that it's a decently large amount. Oh, whoa. AP discount. Where the fuck did we learn that from? AP discount. What is that? Oh, skills cost 1 less. Costs 30. Jesus. It's 155 speed. Jeebus. Alright. I think we're gonna... Can I just fucking jump off here? Make me actually run back. Done this. I want to play this game again. I want to play this game again. On a New Game Plus this game. But with like a walkthrough so that I don't miss anything. Okay. What are we doing now? I think...
Hang on tight.
I think I'm actually gonna fly back towards the beginning of the game, and I'm gonna farm some of these things real quick. I do think the applying more slow is something I'm super interested in. I mean, we're doing that right now, right? Yeah, we have greater slow, and we're applying slow. Okay.
Flashing through the sky.
I got clip. Okay. Let's see this clip.
Basically how I win every match. Quad armor.
It was someone else. I didn't realize it was you. I was like, this person is just looking the fuck around like they have no idea what the fuck is going on. Oh my god. You just run around a corner while a dude's reloading. Hey, I win! That's fucked up.
Flashing through the sky.
I would be pissed. It's not even me, and I already am a little pissed. Wild. Okay, so I think we're gonna pop back to the kind of like starting area, just so that we can get stupid, easy fights, with the intention of quickly just chewing through these Luminaz.
Flashing through the sky.
Okay, quick check on who has what. So I'm literally just gonna be... Is there a... There's not. There's not. Okay, whatever. Filter, take the filters off. The one. Consuming attack. Damage share. What do I not care about? Verso. Yeah, Verso, get in here. You're also just gonna put shit on. Like, no filter. Anything that is not currently being learned.
Prepare for annihilation.
I was about to say, I know there's like 3 people in this area.
Let's spill some ink. Prepare for annihilation.
Positive, these guys are right over here. So we can just reset in there and then kill these 3 packs real quick, just to get all of these Pictos finished up.
Finesse and grace.
Alright. Alright. Hop in here real quick.
I'm ready. En garde.
Okay. Those are now done. Faint. Radiant overcharge. Longer break. Swap on over here. To... What else do we got? We got SOS healing. We got trigger happy. We got accelerating shots. Anything after? Got gradient breaker, blowing break, critical weakness. And we still got several. We got so much stuff in the new area. That mullet, it's bad. It's real bad.
What lovely feet. Getting spicy. Things are getting spicy.
Could've just done that from the beginning.
Feel energized. My, what lovely feet.
Need one more. There's another group over
Here we
here.
go.
Ah, yeah, right underneath. I'm pressing all the wrong buttons.
My, what lovely feet.
Radiant breaker. Flowing break. Critical weakness. I think that's it. There really needs to be like a filter for like not learned. I get that you can see via the icons, but it's just like hoifa doifa. There's just so many. There's just so many. We'll just pop in here real quick. Okay, 4 more battles. We got them all learned, except for combo. You know what? Actually, let's do that real quick. That's an E6. Smile isn't learning anything. Lune is learning something. So we just swap over to Lune, and now we will have all of them to learn in 4 more quick fights. Oh, why? He's beating me.
Flashing through the sky.
Let's carve a path. You're outmatched. Fountain stars.
Roma is fled.
My turn. Fountain stars.
Yeah, right. This should be the last one. Alright, that's it. Okay. All our shit is learned now. I think. Okay, so we definitely won Mael. Definitely won Lune. I think it's time to start looking at the others. So we're looking for potentially a burn or burn adjacent build. So for clarity, I don't think there's anything that's just in CL's repertoire that just straight applies burn. Deals damage and applies foretell to every other burning enemy. Don't really care about that. Okay, so there's nothing via CL that is just straight burn. Like there's anything via Verso that is just straight burn either. There's stuff that is burn adjacent, like that does an effect around burn. It's not just it's X time and applies X number or Y number of burns. So let's look at weapons. While having at least one active sun charge, apply one burn stack per hit taken. Not so much. Apply one burn every 3 foretell applied with skills. And 20% increased fire damage with skills, which will only matter if you're using skills that use weapon damage. So the only way that that would be useful is if there was a 2 foretell per hit, 3 foretell, 5 foretell. I don't think that's gonna matter. Okay, so it's nothing that's jumping out to me from CL. I should, actually, before we move on from that concept, I should double check, because I had a document that I was using. I think it was just in my old productivity document. Checklist. Got a document for, but it doesn't look like I have anything here. I was like, hey, maybe try this for a burn build. So, near, apply 3 burn instead of mark. Increase burn damage by 50% per rank, up to 300% on rank S. Light damage can burn on critical hits. So that's possible. Confuso. Base attack apply. Oh no! Oh no! Corpesso is just... It's just Mael's build. It's just Mael's build. I could just run... Or not Mael's build, Lune's build. I could just run... Is this what you were using with Verso? Was doing the exact same thing as I'm doing with Lune? Because this is wild. I could just do this with both of them. It would be absurd. It would be so much burn. Alright, well that seems like... It seems like the route we might go. Kultam... Densesso, base attack gives 1 perfection per burn on target. While powerful, 20% chance to burn on hit. And... Okay, Corpesso looks like it might be the route to go. We're gonna check Minoko's shit real quick. I know Baguettaro is something that we were thinking about. So critical hits apply burn. Almighty Mask gives 50% increased damage cumulative and doubles enemies' burn. But Almighty Mask skills consume up to 100 burn to deal 2% more damage per burn consumed. So, it looks like it might come down to between Corpezzo and Bagataro, but let's check the rest of his stuff real quick. Like Bagataro. So the thing would be we would have to noodle with his wheel to the point to where we were hitting Almighty Mask consistently. So we would need some sort of combo to generate into Almighty Mask. Preferably with something that applies a fair amount of burns. High light damage to all enemies, 2 hits, 4 burn per hit, 2 more burn per hit if it's in Agile Mask, but it costs 7 book. That's a lot. But if it's doubled and it's 2 hits, still only 12. But if they're crits, if he's crit capped, it would in theory be 2 hits, each of them critting, each of them applying a burn and doubling the burn. So it would be 16. And Seuss Waltz deals more damage against burning targets. Balanced Mask is increased damage. 3 hits. Doesn't apply burn on its own, though. Just does more damage to a burning target. Braziler Smash, which we've used for a long time. Right? Fire damage. 2 hits. 3 burn. With double burn, that is 12. And an additional 4 for the 2 hits if they're crits. So 16. Patate, extreme fire damage to all enemies. So this would be the Almighty that we would try to go for, right? In theory. Honestly, like, not seeing enough in here that I think that would make it worth all of the hubbub of going through the process of trying to actually get him to be what we want him to be, right? Is the thing. It is. I think it would probably we would just get more burn if we just took Verso, to Corpezzo. And we did the exact same build that we have on Lune. We just go that on Verso and say, okay, Corpezzo means that you are applying 1 billion burn stacks. Now, I do think it's starting to become a concern of like, well, is this actually going to do enough damage? And I don't know. But I kind of want to try. So, I think let's do this. Pretty close. So, we'll go back over to our area. On over here. Walk ourselves on over to the first spurt. This is such a fun, lovely area. Okay. So the theory we'd have here is we would take Corpezzo. Honestly, we don't actually even have to upgrade it, but in fact, we might. I might. No, that's such a huge amount. I might not, though. I might just sit on. So it's our last perfect chroma. I might just sit on this. I just sit on this. I think we just sit on this. I think we... Okay. Got a couple ideas. Turn you off, turn you on. Corpezzo. Even look like. We're gonna pop over here. We're going to pop in here. We're gonna open up a. We're gonna create a set. Create set. We're gonna set this set as base attack burn. So we have that set. So we can pop over to Verso. I don't really care what he. Might as well. Base Verso. Wait. Base. It's what trying to type with one hand gets me. Base Verso. Create set. Okay, but we can just click. He needs 31 additional points. Okay, let's do that real quick. $31 points puts him exactly where Luna is. Okay. Equip set. Okay, now Verso has all of the same shit. I'm realizing immediately that there is some stuff I do not need. So how do active? Okay. For example, we do not need painted power. We don't hit hard enough to break the damage threshold, so we can save ourselves 6 points. Right there. So we do not need that. Okie dokie. Same thing with Verso. He does not need that. He also has a bunch of stuff equipped that he is not going to need. He has slowing break, gradient breaker, and critical weakness. He will not need those two. Oh, I should, while I'm thinking about it, base attack burn, update, set. Yes. Okay, so that's now only a 235 cost set. Yeah, crazy how fucking easy it is. Absolutely crazy how easy. Okay. Now is the time where we theoretically can optimize some stuff. Can I just clear this? I can. Great. Oogly moogly. Just clear these things. Fantabulous. Okay, I'm pretty pleased with combo attack, with what we have set up with Lune. But now that we have cleared off some stuff and learned more things, let's see if any of that changes. So we don't care about her critting. So we're not really interested in replacing that for crit. We do kind of care about the slowing attack. That is nice. That's 10 points that we're saving on her. We could save more points elsewhere, though. For example, now that we are no longer using, like, Claire's life, for example, we could just sack the defense that we have and say, fuck it, and be like, okay, well, you don't have any fucking defense, but you have 2,200 more life than you did previously. I don't know, that still might be death. Probably death. She's gonna have, like, she's gonna have, like, less than 200 defense. Oy vey. Ay ay ay. Is there a decent health and speed option that we want? Like slowing attack is just kind of the best. Okay. Is there a health and defense option that would be good? Solo fighter, like, it's actually probably the best. Longer break has less HP and defense, but also has a little bit more speed. Probably not, though. Protecting attack is actually less HP and defense, but it would save us 10 more points because we are using protecting attack. Probably not worth it, but might be worth putting on Verso, since we know, right, he's gonna want a very similar setup to Lune. You know? You're sure it'll be fine? Well, so the thing is that if we did something like putting on Claire's life, what we could do is we could afford, we'd have almost no defense, but we'd have more HP, and we could afford 36 more points worth of stuff, right? So if we check our favorites, I think probably what that means is we try to go for, see, second chance is 40. Oh, no, I'm saying we just put Claire's life in there. And so she just has it. And she saves herself 30 points and gets a bunch of HP. But she has no defense, is the thing. So she's definitely gonna die. But if she doesn't die, we could just drop 4 more points into her and give her second chance. Just parry, easy. Probably we will just dump 4 more points into her. But I don't hate the concept that we have right now. We should reset Verso's stats in the same way that we did Lune's. So just maximizing for speed. Basically exactly like that, and then a little bit of extra HP along the way. That seems fine. Because their entire purpose is just to generate as much as possible. Oh! That's a thing to note. Let's go back here. We're going to say active. Combo attack 1, 2, and 3 are active. But that's active based off of set. Yeah, combo attack 1 and 3 are active in this set, but they're not active as a combo attack 2 is not active. Update set. So that's actually only a 205 with Clair not being in. So we gotta kind of tweak things based on the Pictos that are involved. Because he, with Clair's life added, cannot afford combo attack 2. So we're gonna have to put some of the... We're gonna have to put some of these more expensive things in here. So if we do something like that... So like second chance should be on one of these people. Clair's life should be on one of these people. What's the other one? Cheater? Cheater should be on one of these people. Where's Cheater? Is Cheater is still super low level, isn't it? Fucking hell. Yeah, Cheater's still super low level. That's annoying. Still. It's saving 40 points is the thing. So we just have to, like, knowingly augment someone for that last little bit. Like, we don't care about that necessarily. Actually gonna take hers off. Combo attack 3. Okay, so now now we're in the point with Verso. We have Cheater, we have Clair's life. We're gonna want combo attack 2, which is gonna put him at the same Lumina point total that Lune is at. And what they are actually missing is second chance. Second chance. I mean, we could just not worry about him being as fast as Lune. Just say, okay, well, he's gonna have more HP and defense than Lune does, basically. Like we... Alternatively, we could put second chance on Mael. To save her some points. Because we actually would prefer to crit cap Mael. Yeah, I think we actually would like to crit cap Mael. What are things that he has equipped? And are they worth... What are the most expensive things? So combo attack 3 is the other most expensive thing. Double burn, also pretty expensive. So if we combo attack 3 or double burn, that would save us a bunch of points. Combo attack 3 is not good. Combo attack 3 only gonna work if the other thing we put in is an extremely high HP one. And what's the double burn? That's also not high level, is it? Fuck. How much does damage share cost? It costs 30. Damage share was another thing that I was interested in. But longer burn isn't bad. That would save us 15 points. Double burn is level 11? Holy shit. I need the game to give me a break here. Come on, yo. How do I level up all of my stuff? I need all of these Pictos to be like level 30. I don't need this. Whatever this is, I do not need this. Longer burn is a potential option, right? Like, longer burn, we put on there. That saves him some points. And 10,000 HP with 2,000 defense is not bad. Is there an HP slash defense or HP slash speed that we could put on him that wouldn't be terrible? Every third hit of a skill deals double damage. That's actually something that I kind of want to put on Mael. Potentially. So, probably not for him. Probably not longer break, because I don't want to risk the whole breaks last one more turn, but you can't be broken more times. Though, maybe it won't matter. Pro retreat. A decent amount of HP. Double burn can upgrade to level 20 at Sacred River by fighting a merchant. Oh. Interesting. Maybe we go check that out. At the same time, though, it's a speed crit, which is not something I'm super interested in putting on Verso. I might be interested. It is 30 points. I might be interested in putting it on Mael, though. So maybe that's the play. Maybe. I kind of feel like I should be using longer break. Just because it's so many stats. Alternatively, though, if we don't necessarily need anything else, probably best to just go health defense. Like, solo fighter is just a lot of stats for us. You know? Like, even longer shell, right, is slightly less HP, but it does increase the duration of the shell we put on ourselves. Though if we're putting a shell on ourselves every single time we attack, it's less of a concern. Protecting shots is a nice chunk more HP with a slight loss on defense, but could work. Actually, I guess protecting attack actually does save us 10 points, so protecting attack is fine. It's just this is a kind of like low set of things, right? Like, but he does have 51 points now, so he can come down to second chance and snag that with impunity, right? And he doesn't have... You know what? Is there really a point? Like, the slow doesn't stack. Is there a longer slow? Right? There's longer break, longer powerful, longer rush, longer shell. But I haven't seen longer defenseless or longer slow. So that's kind of a thing. Because if those existed, and we could have it to where one person was applying a longer duration of slow, and the other was applying a longer duration of defenseless, I think that would be more optimal. As it is, he doesn't actually have slowing attack right now, so we should put that on. So he is pretty much built out. Lune, I think, is risking certain death on the concept of getting popped. Okay, let's take a look at Mael. Mael, we would prefer crit, some crit. What does she actually have active? I think we can save ourselves on a fair amount of, like, the counters and stuff like that. I don't think those actually matter with what we are trying to accomplish. I don't think we actually care with those. I do think we care about burn affinity. Anything to increase the damage that she is dealing. Critical burn, I think, matters for her. Breaking, less concerned about. Dodger's just on there because. Healing counter, we don't care about. Applying powerful when she is revived, we don't care about. She does need painted power. We don't care about healing parry. We care less about teamwork. Just cheat her on. We care less about breaking burn, though maybe we care about it. Favorites. Okay. So, We have Cheater on. We have Second Chance equipped. We have Cheater equipped. We need Clair. So Claire's life is immediately gonna consume a fair amount of her points. From there... Okay, let's check the burn stuff real quick. No, no, no. No. No, no, no. Consuming attack on... Anyways. No. Very potentially. And very definitely. Because one of the things that we definitely want on her is... oh, I keep hitting the wrong buttons. What we want on her is enough AP generation to consistently hit what we are trying to hit with her every turn. We also should dump the 31 into her as well. AP discount might actually be really valuable on her to drop her burning canvas from 5 to 4, because one of the issues that we have is after like 3 or 4 burning canvases, she'll often only have 3 or 4 AP, so she can't do another burning canvas, and that just kind of like breaks her mojo. Let's dump 31 into my L, so that's gonna be 43. Okay. So we have double burn, we have longer burn, we have second chance, we have Claire's life, we have cheater. I think we're gonna go, because there's a lot that we gained that I was super duper interested in. So I think we're just gonna go through and we're just gonna start putting stuff in to play. AP discount. Okay, I say that. That's a lie. We're gonna go to AP stuff. Why is combo attack in a... Oh, because you get an AP every time you hit, I assume. A lot of points on battle start. Energizing turn is probably like a requirement. Energy Master, that's really interesting. Okay, so I do want to note Energy Master and AP discount. I'm more interested in the AP discount. Energy Master seems like it's a thing that you would want for hitting high AP moves. What we're doing isn't a high AP move. We just want to be able to spam it. Okay. So that's what I needed to kind of like figure out just for shits and giggles. Critical chance on defense. We should put defensive mode onto... We should absolutely... Mark that. No! Redo. Actually, just go back up top real quick. God, I nearly fucked that. We should put defensive mode on Lune and on Verso because they're not using their AP. So defensive mode is just a 1 point take 30% less damage in exchange for 1 AP every single time they get hit. Abso-fucking-lutely. Like, 100%. Right? Actually, damn! Right? That seems pretty good. They don't give a shit about their defense or about their AP. Okay, double third is one of the ones that I am interested in on Mael. So, Burning Canvas hits 5 times. So that basically adds a double third. Oh, it's up here now. The double third deals double damage. It actually makes it basically do a 5 hit instead worth of damage. What was the skill that makes it so X number of attacks do no damage, but the last hit does a ton? Yeah, no, that's also one of the ones that I'm potentially looking at for Mael. Absolutely, that's potentially one of the ones that I'm looking at for Mael. So we're getting there. That's why I'm going through all of these. Okay, we're up here in the D's. It's a DLC. It's the one with the gunk. The whatever the fucking status effect is for that one. Yeah, cotton candy. Sure. Oh. If it was the 5th hit that does damage, that's like a perfect fit. Well, I assume that's why it's not the 5th hit. targets dealing 30% less damage is pretty cool. Like defenseless on break. This one, Feint. Start each turn with 4 Barba Papa stacks. Every 5th hit with the skill does 600% more damage. So that's one of the ones that I'm potentially interested in. Frenzy is another that I am potentially interested in, because that means each hit deals 10% more damage. So that means the 5th hit will do 50% more damage. So we're basically just stacking 50% more on top of the 600, which is kind of whatever. But we did the math on this the last time we talked, right? And I don't actually think it's potentially worth the 20 points unless it's just a good fit from a Picto standpoint, because while we get 50% more damage on the last hit, if we're doing Feint, we are losing 10, 20, 30, 40 damage. So we're losing, is that just 100? 10, 20, 30, 40. Yeah, that's just 100. So we're just losing 100% more damage on the other 4 hits. So it's not, I don't think it's worth it if we're using Feint. If we're not using Feint, it's absolutely worth it, because Frenzy is actually 150% more damage throughout the whole skill, but not if you're doing no damage on the other hits. Oh, greater defenselessness. That actually... Let's start that real quick. Ah, shit. I was actually looking for these because I was interested in maybe we could save some points with Lune and Verso by being like, well, if we're applying one, we can always just apply both at the same time, but I think they're all 10s. So I don't think that, yeah. See, protecting attack is 10, powerful when applying shell is 10, but I'm pretty sure the other one is also 10. Okay. So what did we actually turn on there? So we turned on Frenzy, we turned on Feint. I don't think, obviously they're not going to work together. I kind of want to try Feint just because I think it's very silly with the concept. So that would mean turning off Frenzy. It would also mean turning off Double Third, right? Because Double Third isn't gonna matter. I'm curious as to whether or not Frenzy / Double Third ends up being more consistent damage. Yeah, I'm very interested in just seeing how big the number is. How big number go? So I kind of want to look at this, right? At the start of your turn, you generate 1 AP, right? We have Energizing Turn, which is +1 on AP, +1 AP on turn start. So that's 2 AP that we are generating on a turn. We also have Beneficial Contamination, which is +2 AP on applying a status effect once per turn, which burn counts as. If we apply AP discount, skills cost 1 less AP, meaning that Burning Canvas now costs only 4, which means we should always have enough to utilize Burning Canvas, because we will generate 1 plus a bonus 1, and we will have generated 2 the last time we attacked. So we should always be able to Burning Canvas now. Okay, cool. Great. That's super interesting. I don't actually know what the fuck what else we would want with her. We'd want something defensive, preferably, I would think. Alternatively, we could go for debuff. For 25% increased critical chance against a defenseless enemy. All enemies, in theory, that Mael attacks are going to be defenseless, and they're going to have a burn on them. So that's 50% critical strike chance on all of them, which means we are definitely crit capped without needing any more crit. Unfortunately, we would want speed, and that's the thing that just we're not gonna have any of. It's speed or HP. So, what about defense? What do we got? Second chance, stun, base shield. Base shield. +1 shield if not affected by any shield on turn start. Just a free little scenario. We could maybe throw damage share on. Okay, so one of the things I want to do before I forget is I want to move over to favorites. And I want to put defensive mode on both Verso and Lune. Because I absolutely think that is going to be a big deal. Absolutely think that's going to be a huge deal. 30% less damage. They're not spending their AP at all. I think that'll be a very big deal. I don't think we can do that on my own. Not without sacrificing some other stuff. Or just dumping more Lumina points into her, which we could do. I'm kind of trying to resist because I still like the idea of swapping over to like CL or Monoko to do something else. Do I think damage share on Mael would proc defensive mode on the other two? I do think it would. Yes, absolutely. Because I think they would take damage, and if they had the AP, they would reduce that damage taken. And absolutely, I think damage share would 100% be a potential go-to for her. But it's 30, and I don't know that that would work. Another thing to consider is rather than doing something like damage share, if we went for, what is it? Energy Master. So Energy Master, every AP gain is increased by 1. So, if every AP gain is increased by 1, then that means the 1 AP you get at the start of your turn is increased to 2. And that means that the 1 AP you get from Energizing Turn is increased to 4. Right? So, if that is the case, we could actually get rid of AP discounts or beneficial contamination. I don't think we could get rid of both, is the thing. But either one that we got rid of would mean that we are, and putting in, actually, if we put in, do we just want to do that? If we take out AP discount and we put in beneficial contamination, and then we put in, take out AP discount, put in Energy Master, then we are generating 4 AP on the start of every turn, and every time we burn, which is every turn, we're generating... Is that going to be 3 or is that going to be 4? Does it double it or does it just add +1? Increased by 1. So it doesn't double it, it's just increased by 1. So that might not actually work the way that I want it to work anyways, because it might just make it to where Energizing Turn and the start of your turn don't count as different things. We can test that very easily. If we take off Energy Discount, we put on Energy Master, and we put on Defensive Mode, or Dodger for something. Whatever. Just doing that. Okay, so we're just gonna put on some shit for her real quick. And actually immediately come back in because I want to check. We did critical vulnerability and critical burn. Okay. Want to fight out here real quick? Let's come fight these guys. I just want to see Mael's turn.
Let's keep going.
Let's cover path.
Ready to strike.
Well, she gained at least 6.
Void, take everything.
830,000. That's an amount.
Void, take everything.
Okay. The elements dance. Brace yourselves.
Barely did anything. He not died to the burn?
So much potential.
Oh! Is it really like, is Painter's power really lit? Oh, see, I was hoping that it was gonna be differentiated, that the burn didn't care. Ah, that's fair.
Let
Good
the
to know.
ink flow.
Well, we can fix that relatively easily. God damn, she's getting so many fucking turns.
Oh well.
See, like, didn't I take Painter's power off of both of them?
Let's have some fun.
Then why did the burn just do over 9999 to that guy? Like, what's up with that? Mael has it, yeah, but it wasn't Mael's turn, and she's been oh, so you're saying? So Mael, okay, hear me out here. Mael didn't contribute to the burns that the guy over there had. So as long as there's only one target, only one person needs painted power, as long as they're contributing to the burns. Is that what I'm hearing? If that's what I'm hearing, not sure. That's fair.
Void, take everything.
All right. Well, the theory seems sound. Does the game split out stacks is kind of the question. Well, we can check real quick. Peter, Claes, and Cheater, Claes. She doesn't have second chance right now. Painted power is only 5. So we could get that in there probably relatively easy. Obviously, she already has painted. We could very easily just swap out Fueling Break. Because that just seems like it's very unlikely to happen anyways. And then we just put in Painted Power. Just so that we don't have to worry about it. Lune is the one that is gonna have problems, right? Is how the fuck do we get... We could take out... Yeah, we don't need powerful. right? And in point of fact, that actually is something we can take off of... Oh, we have Rush on Powerful. I know I have the stuff, but still... Still... Don't... No... Jay! Those points belong to other people! It's not fair, Jay! It's not fair! Joe Real. No, they don't. No, they fucking don't! Use your goddamn Lumina! Stop! Fine. 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 I don't like it, but fine. I don't like it, but fine. Okay. Put on Painted Power just cause. And we will put on Second Chance, which is the other thing that she needs. Okay, and I think... Yeah, I think we need... Okay, so we need to look at what does Mael actually need. So let's take this off. Speed, something that is super speed would be really nice. Second Chance, she needs to hold just because of the points. The issue is with the super speed stuff, the vast majority of them come with what greater powerlessness? Oh yeah. We can, absolutely, but I don't think it would be worth it. Oh, we're not doing powerless anyways. We're doing, We're doing... Ah. Not doing powerless, we're doing defenseless. Being able to do powerless would be nice, too. There is a P discount. AP discount. Make it even more. That's a lot of speed. That would get her involved in things quite a bit more. Yeah. Actually, not terrible. Like HP and defense, even with that. If we drop that and we go for HP and defense, Solo Fighter is just better. So we could just throw Solo Fighter on there as just like a damage, or just as a stat stick. So she's slightly above 10k. She has over 2,000 defense. She has the burn in AP to not take damage. With AP discount and Energy Master, she should always generate enough AP. I think she should always generate enough AP, even if she's depleted down to 0. I think it's questionable. Pretty interesting though. All right, I'm very intrigued by the setup that we have designed for these characters. We've spent most of tonight Noodling with shit. More speed. More speed? More speed. More speed. Absolutely more speed. She actually does care about HP. I think I will leave her stats relatively balanced. I could see maybe us dropping defense to go for maximal agility. Casual 2.5 hours of futzing. Well, you know. Fuck it. Let's do this. If we do that and that... Yeah, our defense is actually still fine. Like, actually getting defense doesn't really do that much. And if we go vitality, then we actually get a little bit more HP out of it. Or we could go attack power. I think probably vitality is the worthwhile thing to do. Okay, let's rest. And I think we're actually gonna go... Is this the last thing? I don't actually know where... Yeah. Reverie Path? Also no. Actually, this might be correct. I don't think we have to go inside there. I don't think we can fast travel to it. So we might actually have to run over here and take the train up. So we're gonna go toss ourselves at the boss now. And see how that goes. We still haven't played this game for a very long time. So I'm not gonna assume that this will be any amount of successful. But I do think some of the changes, I especially like the defensive changes that we have made. I actually think those are kind of cool. And they might be a big deal. So we'll see. Like, taking 30% less damage is kind of nice. I don't know if it's all gonna work out. Mostly, I'm concerned about mostly I'm concerned about Mael having enough AP to do things, and I'm concerned about Lune having basically no defense. But we'll see very quickly if that's a problem. We'll see very quickly if that's a problem. Also, it'd just be good to get some actual practice on a boss. Okay. Well, let's do it.
Careful, Verso.
Okay.
A storm is coming.
Void, take everything.
Wasn't paying attention.
Time to hit big.
Already over 1 million. Okay.
Cut him down.
So much potential. So much potential.
Not impressed.
Not these guys.
Please, goodbye.
Not impressed.
I'll do it.
Luna, careful.
The less damage we're taking is extremely noticeable. Like, it is extremely noticeable how much less damage we are taking.
Careful, Verso. That hurts. Let's push forward.
$448.
Cut him down.
The storm is coming. The elements dance.
644.
Danger!
Void, take everything.
Okay, the issue is, Mael's damage isn't scaling as much as I feel like it should be scaling here. So like the last big hit is doing a lot of damage, but it hasn't scaled much, right? Past that point. So Burning Canvas is supposed to do 5 hits, apply 1 burn per hit, damage increased for each burn on the target. And it's doing roughly the same damage at 600 burn stacks as it was doing at like 300 or 400. I'm just gonna look. Clair Obscur. It doesn't give me more information as to the concept of, right, like, how much more? What is the percentage? Because it feels almost like it's capping a small amount. Like, I don't know what's going on. Okay, unfortunately, no conclusive information from a quick search. Yeah, but 1,020,000 again. It almost feels like we're capped. Damn. So what I might try is I might just see if taking off the wrapper stuff does better, basically.
Overflowing with energy. Now was our chance.
Nice.
Okay. We're at 944 stacks. This should not do the same damage it did. 50 is more. That's definitely more.
Void, take everything.
Okay, another 200 million. The damage bonus you can get caps at 100 stacks.
Ready to pass. Count on.
Get ready.
Esso, dodge.
Well, that makes me very sad. That actually makes me extremely sad. Because it doesn't say that anywhere. That makes me very sad.
Let's have some fun.
Because I don't think it's worth it. Like, everything that we're doing, I don't think is worth it in this case. Because the burn damage isn't enough. Right? Like, when the burn tick actually ticks, it's not enough damage. Really cool to see over 1,000 bursts.
well.
But like 350, like a person can do that in one turn. You know? Any skill that does more damage based on burn stacks has this limit. Fuck. That seems so limiting. Huh. Okay. 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 Doesn't mean everything is done. Doesn't mean everything is done. Slight deviation on plans potentially. But I think I have a okay. All right. Hold that thought. We're gonna keep going through this fight. We might win. We might win. I'm gonna focus up, and we're just gonna focus on trying to beat this guy.
Now is our chance.
Let's carve a path.
Please, goodbye.
Let the ink flow.
The defensive mode is great.
Overflowing with energy.
Not impressed.
Not giving up. Void, take everything. Time to hit big.
I'll manage.
Apparently, I mean, if you look like
Brace yourselves.
Unit, watch out.
Brace yourselves.
if you look like we've been doing 200 to 300 We've been doing 200 to 300 with burn the entire time.
Spill some ink.
It doesn't go up regardless of how much higher our stacks go. Actually, okay, so abandoned battle. Well, I have thoughts and ideas here. So if getting a shit ton of burn stacks is not really beneficial to us, then we have some things that we can do in response to that. And specifically, one of them is consuming attack. Base attack consumes up to 100 burns to deal 10% more damage per burn consumed. So, what we could do is, since Mael caps out at her thing anyways, one of the things I think we need to do first off is I don't think we go... I think it's very fun and funny, but I do not think Faint is the way to go. I think it is more beneficial to go Frenzy and the other one, double third. So double third, and then so Frenzy is 20 points. But if we dump 14 points into Mael, I think that's going to be better damage output over the long haul, more consistently for her. So I think we're just going to dump 14 points into her real quick. We throw on Frenzy as well. So I think that is going to make her damage way more consistent, I think. And then what we do is we take either Lune or Verso, and we make them... We make them less about the application of burns, and more about consuming the burns with consuming attack. So we basically do that. We have one person stacking a shit ton of burns. The other person will still be assisting in stacking burns, but will also be consuming them. And as long as we stay relatively... The issue is I don't know... I don't know if it's going to consume... I don't know if consuming attack is going to consume 100 burns each punch. So if there's 4 punches, every single punch is gonna consume, because we can't keep up with that. But I think we're just gonna we're gonna flip this real quick, and that's the only thing we're gonna change. I'm gonna put favorites on active. So we need 10 points for him. I don't want to dump 10 more points into him. So I think I'm going to pump 10 more points into him because I don't see anything that I want to get rid of. I really like defensive mode. I think defensive mode worked really fucking well. I'm just gonna take that off real quick, just because I want to see how consuming attack potential. So we're just gonna go with that real quick. I just want to see if the theory behind this is sound. Having one person generate while the other consumes. And I want to see how big the consumption is, right? Like how much do they consume? Is it 100 per every hit, or is it just 100 per attack? And if it's 100 per hit, I don't think that's sustainable for us. And we still want the idea is we would want to have a threshold around.
Take cover.
Bring it on.
I'll do it. Feeling better.
Finesse and grace. This will hurt. Void take everything.
Yeah.
Careful.
Honestly, the damage is pretty close. It might just be better. Okay, so this isn't going to count because we're not generating the amount of stacks that we normally would. We need to let Lune get to the point to where she actually does stuff.
I would have lived.
Feeling better. The elements dance.
So Lune is now generating a real amount of stacks.
Turn up.
To your face!
Also, Lune and Mael are both faster.
Void take everything. This will hurt. Void take everything.
Okay, we're gonna be able to see here.
Let the ink flow.
Okay, here's the real question. Does this work? It could consume just 100 stacks. Or it could consume all of 290 of these stacks. And that would probably be bad.
Maximum damage.
Here's the thing. Not only does it consume all of the stacks, but the damage is also shitty. Okay, well that sucks. It consumes 100 per hit, and the damage is Garbaggio. Fuck. 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 Alright, well we tried to do something cool. That's a bummer. That is legitimately a bummer. Yeah. That's a bummerino. having the damage capped like that is pretty sad. Nah, I'm not super worried about it. I like these characters, so I think I still want something to work with them. I'm just trying to, like, think of how exactly... An abandoned battle. Ah, fuck. I didn't mean to do that. Whoops. You faked me out, game.
Bring it on.
Okay. Potential save. Potential save. Fuck. I thought I remembered seeing something that I don't think exists. Okay. Potential save is actually going to Bagataro. So, dropping Verso, keeping Lune as the consistent burn generator, and then utilizing Bagataro. I mean, Mael keeps doing what she does. And then using Monoko with Bagataro to consume burn stacks, because the obviously the super high burn stacks aren't doing enough. I still think what Lune will be doing just applying burn is going to be useful, because we still get the damage from burn, although it really does suck that the burn damage is capped as well. Like, there's diminishing returns on the burn damage. Like, it just really feels like you can only get so much burn going, you know? So it's kind of like, damn, y'all really, I guess if you have no diminishing returns on it, it's odd, because in most cases the game lets you do really cool stuff. I can kind of see the issue, though, is if you... I mean, we got over 1,000 burn stacks, and I don't even think we're perfectly optimized for everything. If you went all speed, I mean, like, every Pictos, like, you saw, we had, Lune's at 2600 speed, and she has 2-ish speed Pictos. If you optimized every character for basically full speed, Lune was already double turning the boss. Like, she was getting about 4 turns for every one of the boss's turns. sometimes he would do a double turn, right? So it's a scenario of like maybe that's not always going to happen. But if you gave her even more speed, like I could see the burn getting oppressive. Like I could see how people get to 2,000 burn stacks, that kind of concept. Um, Especially if you're doubling up with Verso and doing the same thing. So I can understand the burn being oppressive in the right situation. I think the issue that I'm having though is like I'm pretty sure there are other combos and things like that that you can do that are also super oppressive. Like there are ways people are like doing millions of damage. So I'm kind of curious as why lock this one down. You know? Like what the fuck is the skill? There's one of them in here that is like everywhere. Stendhal, right? Um is apparently an extreme amount of damage. You know? Um but ay 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 ay. That does make me a little sad. Huh. That do make a boy a little sad. That do make a boy a little sad. Yeah, maybe I mean maybe we can fix this or not fix it, right? But maybe we can like salvage the idea by doing a Monoko build with Bagataro where because Minoko already does good damage, right? And with the concept of Bagataro eating enough burn stacks whenever he triggers an Almighty, right? Which I guarantee you I can look up right now online. A like use these three skills, boom, 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 and you will almighty, 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 right? Like over and over again. So it's just basically like figuring out what that combo wheel is, and then setting up Minoko for damage. So we need crit basically on him. Which wouldn't be difficult to accomplish. Everything's always going to be burning, right? So we just do that same scenario, and then that basically gives a so with just Lune doing what she's doing, she should always be burning over the amount that Minoko needs to consume, and that Mael needs to max out her damage, while also applying defenseless and slow consistently. Um, and we could also even like at the same time, right? Like all things considered, we could throw in some things. Stormcaller, for example, right? We could throw in some things that consume burn stains just for when like when the burn stacks get if the burn stacks get absurdly high, they give her something to give her an alternate to use her turns on if she doesn't really need to apply any more burn, you know? Medium damage at the end of their turn and low damage when they receive damage, and it lasts for 3 turns. Yeah, we could probably very easily throw that on people. There's actually not a lot of just like singular fire consumption, which is somewhat surprising. Basically just like Thunderball. Thunderball and Caller. But I mean, it would be very simple for us to just throw those on there. And then pretty easy for us to get back to generating stacks, because, like I said, at 4 fire stains, we're generating 64 burn a turn, I think, on Lune. So if we were like in the 400s or 500s, and we decided to drop a Stormcaller for extra damage, or a Thunderfall for extra damage, I think it would be relatively easy to get back to the point. And then if Mael and Minoko are doing consistent damage, I think it's fine. It's just kind of sad, right? Like, because the scenario was like, oh, we found a way to do our really big multi-million combo. How much was the Elemental Genesis build doing? Honestly, not significantly more. I think it was like capping out at around 1.5 million. But it was that the thing about the Elemental Genesis build is it was super duper consistent, right? Like it was our damage has absolutely taken a hit, which is sad. But we could like you said, we could load a previous save, right? So there's a lot of saves here. We could load one from... Basically, we wouldn't even have to go back that far. We could load from earlier on in the night, around like 9 or 10. Basically, after we got all of the Pictos learned, and before we started like dumping Luminous, we could jump back to one of those points and it would probably be fine. And we did learn some pretty interesting stuff. Specifically, I think one of the things that we learned is like Mael's build. I'm extremely happy with Mael's build right now. I'm sad that her damage isn't gonna scale to where I thought it was going to scale, but I'm very happy with what we kind of like figured out with her. I do think now that we know the way things work, I actually think we can get rid. I actually do think the damage is probably better on Faint rather than Double Third and Frenzy. Because this is, just consistently, it's 600% more damage versus, double damage on so basically 100% more damage on one of them, and then 150%. So it's 600 damage versus roughly 250% damage. So I think that's very easy to be consistent on. I say that actually. I think as we were looking at it, the damage was building at the highest ends to be slightly better for the Frenzy and Double Third. That would be pretty easy to test too, though. I might test that tomorrow. But I really like where we have her from a standpoint, because I love what we figured out with like with her AP generation. So she can basically always generate the amount of AP that she needs every single turn, and still utilize defensive mode, which I think is huge. Defensive mode, game changer. Very, 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 very nice survivability buff. Obviously, like the Claire's life and double turn, right? Or cheater combo, very, very nice. But just getting back around to those turns can be painful sometimes. And defensive mode seems very, very strong at accomplishing. So that's really, really cool. So, sadness hero, but I think that's probably where we're gonna end stream tonight. Our plan did not work out. I am fighting DLC Super Boss. Yes, I am fighting DLC Super Boss, but honestly, like we didn't, none of those, we canceled out of all of those fights. We didn't lose. Well, we did lose the very first fight that we came into tonight, because that's Rust, right? But the fights that we tried after we did all the build management and everything like that, we didn't lose any of those fights. I just backed out of them because we weren't doing, we had 1 out of 3 people doing damage, basically. So it was just taking a long time. If we had 2 or 3 people doing actual damage, I'm pretty sure we would have cleared that boss easily. In fact, I think we will clear the boss pretty easily the next time we play, because I'm just gonna make some changes and go from there. I just don't know if I want to try to force a change with Minoko doing... I am really interested in the concept of Bagataro. Like, I am actually really interested. But I don't know if I want to try to do that, right? Or if I just want to, like, be like, Mile can generate her own fire stacks. We'll put Lune back on Elemental Genesis, and we'll just let Minoko keep doing what Minoko does. Because I'm not sure, right? Like, it's something that I think we would have to test, right? It would really depend, because part of the issue, right? Mind you, part of the issue is that because of the scaling on not Pyrolyzed, Void Canvas, because of the scaling on Void Canvas, and because of the diminishing return scaling on Burn, applying too much Burn just doesn't matter. So if even if Bagataro works, it has to work more than just a little bit of work, right? It has to work a lot. It has to be consistent, and the Almighty Mask skill that we utilize, 1, we have to be able to hit it every single time it comes up. And 2, it has to be strong enough that the 200% more damage per the burn consumption and the 50% increased damage cumulative matters. Matters to the point to where it's worth doing outside of Lune doing what she's doing with Angerim. Honestly, this kind of makes Angerim, like, the diminishing returns just kind of makes Angerim not worth it. Like, now that I know, it's just kind of like, oh, okay, well, you can generate a bunch of burn stacks, but so what? Like, who cares? You know, that kind of makes me sad. That's a real bummer to find out. I might look at like Pictos. Maybe there's like a missing Pictos or something like that that does some sort of like unlock or some shit like that. So I might root around in the Pictos or what have you, because ultimately it might be a scenario where even if we swap Monoko to Bagataro and we get him in a good mix, one, his critical hits will apply burn too. So if we max him for crit, then he's going to be generating burn. And if we set him up with like doubling, we might not even need Lune doing her shit in order to actually achieve the amount of burn that he needs to do his almighty mass consumption, and that Mael needs to do her thing. So it might be a scenario where these two together just do it on their own, and they don't need a third person applying 128 burn in 2 turns. But it might be the case that it isn't true, in which it turns into a scenario of, okay, well, if Monoko does need Lune generating it, then he needs to be doing so much damage off of it that it's worth her not just doing her own damage, right? Because right now her damage isn't good enough to warrant it. Like the auto attacks, even if we tried to go less, right? Because so this was another thought that I had. If we tried to go less into the concept of boosting the number of auto attacks, because unfortunately consuming attack or consuming burn, not worth it at all. But if we did more base attack stuff, right, instead of consuming attack, if we went like augmented attack and we went like the one where you like, if you do a free aim shot, you get 50% more base attack damage as well. There's a couple of like different auto attack things that we could potentially try to squeeze in and try to like maximize the damage that she's doing. But she was only doing like 6,000 damage on a punch, right? So even 50% increased damage on that is like, 100% increased damage on that is like, okay, you're doing 12,000 damage a punch. That does not line up with with other options, so probably not gonna be the way to go. So yeah, just stuff to look into. Anyways, bunch of hoopla, bunch of back and forth. Regardless, even though it didn't succeed, I had a lot of fun tonight trying to noodle around with this build. I thought it was gonna be a really cool build, and I think the theory of it is really cool. I might do a little bit more of like scouting online to try and see if I can find, like, maybe there's other more consistent ways to consume burn or utilize burn. Like maybe there's a weapon that I'm missing that does more damage based on burns or some shit like that. I might just do a little bit of searching and see if I can find something. And if I can, cool. If I can't, then, you know, I might noodle around and try some stuff with the Bagataro thing. And if that works, cool. And if it doesn't work, fuck it. We have other things that we were doing. We were pretty happy with what Monoko's been doing with Sidaro. Pretty happy with what Lune has been doing with Brazalim, right? Perfectly fine to just go back to those and say, fuck it, you know? Do what we had been doing, but adjust some of our Pictos, right? To be a little more consistent, probably more probably more Energy Master and definitely the inclusion of defensive mode in a lot of people's stuff would be my assumption. Energy Master, I think, is probably going to be one of those consistent things where it's just like, oh, hell. Like, that's just really strong. That does a lot to generate more AP for people. Like, Mael was getting hit consistently, and still every single turn could easily use the skills that she wanted to use. Maybe not use maximal skills, right? Depending on if she had just taken a hit or not, but could definitely like consistently use her mid-range skills. So I think there's a lot of room for some interesting stuff there. And if we do end up doing the whole Lune thing, then the consistency with critical burn and critical vulnerability is pretty cool. Although there were moments where critical burn is so much more consistent because burn stacks stick around for much longer. The critical vulnerability only lasts one turn. So there were definitely moments where it was like, oh, no, we didn't get a crit because we don't have or defenselessness up on the guy. But yeah, anyways, that's it. Had a fun night, even though we did not succeed in the build was not what we wanted it to be. But overall, had a lot of fun. Thanks for hanging out. We'll see you next time. Bye-bye, everybody. Hey, everybody. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed the video, consider leaving a like, commenting, or subscribing. It really helps me out. If you'd like to see me live, head over to my Twitch at twitch.tv/thedistanthorizon.